Welcome back to Coins Numismatic Series, where we uncover hidden treasures in everyday coins. Today's episode is going to change how you see modern pennies forever. We're diving into two fascinating coins, the 1980 D and the 1997 Lincoln pennies in fine condition, and uncovering the secrets that collectors are actively searching for right now. Because here's the truth. Even modern coins can carry rare errors, unique varieties, and unexpected value, if you know exactly what to look for. Let's get started. 1980 D Lincoln penny fine condition. The 1980 D Lincoln penny represents an interesting moment in U.S. coinage history, a period just before one of the biggest changes ever made to the composition of the penny. At first glance, this coin might seem like nothing special. It's common, widely circulated, and often overlooked. But for collectors, the 1980 D penny holds hidden layers of interest that make it far more than just pocket change. Let's begin with the historical context. The year 1980 sits right at the edge of a major transition in U.S. coin production. Just 2 years later, in 1982, the U.S. Mint would switch from solid copper pennies to copper-plated zinc coins. This means the 1980 D penny is part of the final generation of classic copper cents, composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin. This alone gives it a certain appeal, especially among collectors who prefer pre-1982 coins for their higher intrinsic metal value. The D Mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the primary facilities responsible for producing circulating coinage in the United States. The mintage for 1980 D pennies was extremely high, reaching into the billions, making it a very common coin in circulation. However, as any experienced collector will tell you, high mintage does not automatically mean low interest. In fine condition, the 1980 D penny shows moderate wear. The details of Abraham Lincoln's hair are softened, and the high points of the design, such as the cheek and jawline, are slightly flattened. On the reverse, the Lincoln memorial is still clearly visible, but finer details like the columns may appear worn. Despite this wear, the coin retains enough detail to be easily identifiable and collectible. Now, let's talk about design. The obverse features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse displays the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. This design had been in use since 1959 and would continue until 2008, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. In terms of value, a standard 1980 D penny in fine condition is usually worth only slightly above face value, often just a few cents. But here's where things get interesting. The real value of this coin lies in its errors and varieties. One of the most important errors associated with 1980 pennies is the double die obverse, often referred to as DDO. This error occurs during the die creation process when the design is impressed more than once at slightly different angles, resulting in visible doubling on the coin. On the 1980 penny, this doubling is often noticeable in the date and the word Liberty. What makes this error especially exciting is that it can sometimes be seen with the naked eye. Even in circulated condition, these coins can sell for significantly more than their face value. In fact, some 1980 double die pennies have sold for anywhere between $35 and over $300 depending on condition. Another fascinating variety is the repunched mint mark, or RPM, which is particularly relevant for the 1980 D penny. Before 1990, mint marks were punched into the dies by hand, which sometimes resulted in multiple impressions of the same letter. This creates a shadow-like effect around the D mint mark. These RPM varieties are popular among collectors and can add a noticeable premium to the coin's value. Off-center strikes are another category of errors worth mentioning. These occur when the coin is not properly aligned during the striking process, causing part of the design to be missing. The more dramatic the misalignment, especially if the date is still visible, the more valuable the coin becomes. Some 1980 pennies with significant off-center errors can sell for $75 to $200 or more. There are also minor errors such as die cracks, cuds, and plating blisters. While not all of these significantly increase value, they still add uniqueness and can be appealing to specialized collectors. Another important factor in determining value is color. Like all copper pennies, the 1980 D coin is classified as red, red-brown, or brown. Red coins, which retain their original mint luster, are the most valuable. Brown coins, which have oxidized over time, are more common but still collectible. Collector interest in the 1980 D penny is driven by its accessibility and its potential for hidden varieties. It's a coin that anyone can find, yet it still offers the thrill of discovery. This combination makes it especially appealing to beginners who are just entering the world of coin collecting. But perhaps the most important thing about the 1980 D penny is what it represents. It's a reminder that even the most common coins can hold hidden surprises. It encourages collectors to slow down, examine their coins carefully, and appreciate that make each coin unique. Because in numismatics, value isn't always obvious. Sometimes, it's hidden in the smallest details, waiting for someone curious enough to find it. 1997 Lincoln Penny Fine Condition. Now let's move forward nearly 2 decades to the 1997 Lincoln Penny, a coin that many people consider too modern to be valuable. But as we're about to discover, that assumption couldn't be further from the truth. The 1997 penny belongs to the later years of the Lincoln Memorial Series, a time when coin production had become highly efficient and standardized. Billions of pennies were produced, making this one of the most common coins you'll encounter. In fact, the total mintage exceeded 4.5 billion coins, highlighting just how widespread this issue is. But here's the twist. Even in an era of mass production, errors still happen. And sometimes, those errors can turn an ordinary coin into a highly desirable collectible. In fine condition, the 1997 penny shows moderate wear, similar to older coins in the same grade. The details of Lincoln's portrait are slightly softened, and the reverse design may lack some sharpness. However, the coin still retains clear inscriptions and overall structure. Unlike the 1980 penny, the 1997 coin is made primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating. This change in composition was introduced in 1982 to reduce production costs. While this makes modern pennies less valuable in terms of metal content, it also introduces new types of errors related to the plating process. One of the most famous errors associated with the 1997 penny is the doubled ear variety. This error gives Lincoln the appearance of having an extra earlobe, caused by a double die during the minting process. It's a subtle but fascinating feature that has captured the attention of collectors. What makes the doubled ear error particularly interesting is that it can often be seen without magnification. This makes it accessible to beginner collectors who are just learning how to identify valuable coins. In terms of value, a standard 1997 penny in fine condition is usually worth only face value or slightly more. However, coins with the doubled ear error can be worth significantly more, with high-grade examples reaching around $250 or more. Another important error to look for is the double die variety. This occurs when the coin shifts slightly during the striking process, resulting in blurred or duplicated features. While these errors are often subtle, they can still add value, especially in higher grades. Off-center strikes are also found in 1997 pennies. As with earlier coins, these errors occur when the coin is misaligned during minting. Even a small off-center shift can increase the coin's value, while more dramatic examples can be highly sought after. Another fascinating category is wrong planchet errors. These occur when a coin is struck on a blank intended for a different denomination. While extremely rare, such errors can command significant prices in the collector market. Collector interest in the 1997 penny is growing, particularly among those who specialize in modern coins. As older coins become harder to find, many collectors are turning their attention to more recent issues, searching for overlooked varieties and errors. What makes the 1997 penny especially appealing is its availability. It's a coin that almost anyone can find in circulation, yet it still offers the possibility of discovering something rare. This combination of accessibility and potential value makes it a perfect coin for beginners. It also represents an important lesson in numismatics. Age alone does not determine value. A coin doesn't have to be 100 years old to be valuable. Sometimes, a modern coin with a unique error can be worth far more than an older coin in average condition. The 1997 penny encourages collectors to think differently. It challenges the assumption that only old coins matter and opens the door to a whole new world of possibilities. So next time you see a 1980 D or a 1997 Lincoln penny, don't ignore it. Take a closer look. Check for doubling, errors, and unusual details, because that ordinary coin might just be hiding something extraordinary. If you enjoyed this episode of Coins Numismatic Series, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more deep dives into rare and valuable coins.